There were three great savings that were obvious: the cost, the environmental saving, and just the time.
We've saved probably 100,000 pages of photocopying in the two trials. But more important than that, I think, is access to justice.
Because I work in a regional law firm, every hearing is remote. I have to bring everything with me. So a recent case, it took 5 suitcases to carry all the paper.
The main benefits of paperless courts in New South Wales, from an environmental perspective, are looking at savings in paper and trees, energy, transport emissions, but importantly the social benefits that come from increased access to justice.
I think the main benefits of a paperless court are that you've got enormous speed of access to documents, so you can work between court evidence, you can work between tender bundles, you can work between transcript really, really quickly.
I think the court, because of a paperless trial, functions better because rather than every individual focused on the papers in front of them, looking down at their books, the judge looking down, the barristers looking down, the witnesses looking down, what you get instead is focus on one document projected on a screen or on the wall where everyone's looking at the same. And if one's sitting in the back of the courtroom, it's very easy to follow, which is quite a different experience as well.
Time-wise is actually physically getting the papers around to court. We could have 3 or 4 trolleys going around, and that takes time. That's all gone.
The ability to engage clients so that they can actually see and know what it is the judge or the advocates are looking at because something's on the wall. For the first time, they actually know what's happening in the courtroom. It's fantastic.
We've done 2 trials paperless, one in Sydney and one in Ballina, and we've used the simplest possible technology to do it. All we've done is projected plans, maps, air photos and the like on the wall so that the witnesses can see them, and we've used laser pointers to highlight what we were talking about.
So to upload documents to the central exhibit, we had everything uploaded onto one USB as opposed to having numerous court books and court tender bundles, and every subsequent document was added to Exhibit A. And I could pull up multiple documents at a time or switch between screens, and it was quite a simple process. We'd probably have somewhere around 5,000 to 6,000 pages per bundle. So we're talking somewhere in the realm of 35 to 40, maybe even 50,000 pages worth of documentation printed off just for this one matter. I'd say of the 6,000 pages that make up each of these bundles, the court has probably only taken to 200 pages or so.
The way we've done it so far, I think the barriers are actually really low. We're not trying to introduce really expensive technology. It's really just a matter of changing the document from being paper to electronic.
There's a concern about the unreliability of Wi-Fi, and that's something administratively we've tried to overcome by getting emergency packs with dongles and Wi-Fi.
Bringing it into the courtroom was very difficult. I was afraid that I couldn't do it, and I could.
Internally, we're now running CPDs to upskill those who feel that they might be behind the 8 ball.
The only real barrier is in your head. It's the psychological barrier. It's getting used to using the computer in the courtroom rather than the paper.
The paperless court experience was transformative.
The most remarkable thing I learnt was the ease of getting on board with this. It was quite a game changer in just seeing how quickly that you could go between evidence. That was remarkable. And preparation for the case was also absolutely revolutionary.
I was surprised that it's actually happening now, finally, just how easy it was and just how quickly the court officer could find all of the required documents when they were needed.
But the other thing that surprised me was how smoothly it ran. It didn't take any extra time. It worked cooperatively with the parties. We talked, the lawyers and I, about how we were going to do it first, and it made life easier for all of us.
The advantages of using the electronic trial are so obvious and so many that I think really what's going to happen is as soon as people start using it, everyone's going to want to use it. Technology is going to catch up with us and tell us what to do, but paper will definitely be a thing of the past.
For more complex matters, civil matters, I think it definitely represents the future. There's a peer group out there that are familiar with it and understand how simple it is. I think the fears of the unknown will disappear and we'll get a ready acceptance of what we're doing. 25 years ago, no one wanted an email in chambers. Now we couldn't operate without an email system. You just have to embrace it because it's the brave new world that we exist in.